What does a housing bubble mean for the market's health? Wondering what a housing bubble means in real estate market? Given the current housing market conditions, many home buyers and sellers are concerned that we may be facing a bubble that's about to burst. For this reason, knowing how to identify the signs of a bubble can make you make more informed investment decisions whether you're buying or selling a home. This is Nathan Clark with Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty here in New England. In this video, I'll explain the market factors that create housing bubbles and discuss their impacts on both home buyers and sellers. I'll also touch on the current state of the housing market and whether we're facing a bubble that's about to burst. If you'd like more real estate advice like this, check us out at nathanclarkteam.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe below. Now let's get started. First, let's go over what exactly a housing bubble is. Housing bubbles are periods when the real estate market is experiencing high prices due to high demand and low supply. In some cases, prices increase to the point where they no longer reflect the actual price of properties in the area. Prices are driven up by home buyers' demand for the property in the market. This buyer activity attracts real estate investors hoping to flip homes and sell at a profit, which only makes prices higher. On their own, housing bubbles aren't necessarily an indication of an impending housing crash. In fact, housing bubbles are relatively rare. When they do occur, they tend to stick around temporarily since it usually isn't long before they burst. All bubbles burst. But bubbles only burst once they reach an unsustainable level. The unsustainability is caused by economic conditions that cause the housing market to take a sudden downturn. This includes factors such as a recession, rising interest rates, or other economic issues with like high inflation or high unemployment. Housing markets can also end without bursting. For example, once home buyers' demand is satisfied, supply and demand readjust to an equilibrium, and at that point, prices come down and more closely reflect the actual value. So, are we currently in a housing bubble? Well, on average, the U.S. real estate market is experiencing some signs that could be considered a housing bubble. Over the past 2 years, the rate of housing prices growth in the U.S. has been in the double digits, which is very impressive, very quick to go up that much. Buying was encouraged during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, and low interest rates stimulated, and all the other things they had, stimulated all the programs out there to get people buying properties, and other assistance programs really did a great job of that. On top of all that, investors and iBuyers increased the purchase of properties, which contributed to higher home prices. Home prices continued to grow into 2022, though at a slower pace as the Federal Reserve began tightening their belt and raising interest rates to curb inflation. Given all this growth, many home buyers and sellers are currently worried about the possibility of a housing market crash now that the market is experiencing high inflation, rising interest rates, and fears of a recession. Some are even fearing a repeat of 2008. The good news is that the real estate experts seem to agree that we won't enter a housing crash like we saw in 2008. As some of the market will likely see a price correction, this correction will occur as home prices slowly return to normal levels as a result of fewer homes be entering the market. At the same time, the housing supply remains extremely low, which helps keep existing demand high. This means that prices won't see the sharp, sudden drop that usually accompanies a housing crash. In addition, stricter lending standards out there and better safeguards against housing bubbles mean the market is better prepared to avoid a repeat of 2008. So what does a housing bubble mean for home buyers and sellers? Well, if you're shopping for a new home and you have a local housing market is experiencing a bubble, it generally isn't the best time to buy if you can help it. Depending on how high home prices are, you will be widely overpaying for a property. In the worst case scenario, you could find yourself in a negative equity position after the bubble bursts. This means you'd be paying more for the mortgage that you have in the home than it's actually worth. If you're on the selling side of things, you may be tempted to sell your property while marketing prices are high. This could be a good strategy unless you're also planning to buy a new home in another area experiencing a bubble. In this case, you'd be facing the same problem as the other home buyers. But if you plan to move to an area with less demand or stick to renting, then selling your home may not be as much of an issue. Of course, the choice will ultimately depend on your financial situation, your living plans, and the timing of the market. Whether you're looking to buy or sell, we're here to help you out. We can help you out in all areas of the market out there. We've been doing real estate in the area for over 21 years, and we'd be happy to be able to help you and sit down with you and go over what your goals are. Feel free to reach out to me with any questions you have. You can call me today, and we go over what's most important to you and create a plan together. So if you'd like more information on the housing market or want to learn more about working with our team here in New England, feel free to call me at 401-288-3557 or visit nathanclarkteam.com. I'm Nathan Clark, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button below, and thanks for watching.